Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Last episode was a little off. I wasn't really feeling good yesterday. Yesterday being Sunday for me. So last episode we attempted to get this, but I was reading it wrong. It says could not research technology over 100 science at this level. I thought that meant that I had to have 100 science here. No, that means I don't have my this thing upgraded, and we don't have enough right now to do that. So there is. So this one is not that one. There is missions you can take. Of course, it's underneath mission control. Do you need to, like... Can you use it? Probably. Conduct them. Oh, those are near areas. So those are just hauling missions. Pretty sure you can use them, but I'm not too sure. So let's go ahead and use our smaller rocket. Not the jumper. Let's use our C5 rocket, maybe? So it wants us to bring... Oh, by the way, I do have MechJeb now. But it is a dev version. I found out that the reason why it wasn't working is because it's not made for this version yet. What was the mission again? The hammer. What's that? Do you even have the hammer? That's a thumper. Oh yeah, I do. It's that one. Cool. Let's just like attach it. Like so. I don't need 3, I just need 2 actually. Just for weight balancing and whatnot. And I'll put the extra large, this thing, right on top of both of them. Perfect day. I don't want those to activate. Perfect. If those activate, that'd be hilarious. It would just boom. Where they are, it would just cause so much heat, overheating. So, just turn SCS on. Kerbin flying 41 kilometers up. Oh wait. Oh God. Vert flight VAB. Apparently it did this staging completely wrong. Okay, you guys can go up there. Same with you guys. Okay, that bug's still there. So for the next little while my video is going to be less energetic. Honestly not feeling very well, so I really can't do very high energy videos currently, unfortunately. It's just a problem with being sick. Honestly, not much I can do about that. Flying, I'm way higher altitude. I'm trying to rock a little bit. Get rid of that stuff. Oh, it has to actually use them. Okay. I'm not even at 30 kilometers yet. I don't want this thing in orbit. Oh, fuck. Bye, parachutes. I kind of needed those. How am I gonna do that then? I'm just gonna throw them up here. I guess I can do that. I can use them if need be. really would rather not using them, but let's just not decouple that, shall we? Let's use you. No, that's not gonna work. Let's do that. Save and launch. So these hauling missions are slightly difficult. They're usually difficult because I used to try to do them all at once, which can cause problems. Oh, that's why. It's like, why are you not turning over? My hand was in the wrong spot. It's like, oops. To be quite honest with you, I could probably just hold this altitude here and complete the mission. For those, they just swirl around like snakes. It's kind of funny there. So I need this thing up at a much higher. I'm at the speed there, buds. Oh, I'm over the speed, that's why. Will this get all the way up? Yes, it will. Okay, so I don't actually need that other engine. I'm over the speed now, so I don't actually want any more speed. Okay, I am at the altitude, but I'm way too fast. There we go, that's done. Check mark. Done, now I just gotta wait for the other thing. So let's just, you know, disable that engine. Throw it up here. With the other boosters. Okay. Almost there. I don't know why I don't have the rest of the pilot stuff. It's probably because this person doesn't have enough stuff. Enough skill, I guess. Okay, we will now go ahead and go down. I'm surprised it didn't drop to 0. Or not 0, like 50 meters or something like that. So I want, like, once we hit 7,000 or 10,000 meters, I'm gonna go ahead and deploy these parachutes here, like so, just to slow us down, because we need to be like 80 to 160 meters a second. We're already over that, and we're nowhere near the altitude we need to be at. So yay! By the way, we should not burn up. We never left the atmosphere, so we shouldn't. And plus, we're not actually going fast enough. I think it's like 1,000 meters a second you gotta be going before you'll actually experience those effects. So let's actually go ahead and reorientate our craft. Once this is done, I'm gonna jettison everything. I don't think I have any form of science I could do, to be quite honest with you. Observe the mystery goo. Oh, there's actually 90 science there. Upper atmosphere log. Give me science. Give me the science. Oh, crap, 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 crap. This thing's a big rock, basically. Yeah, okay. So that failed. I need to do this, basically just this bit up here. 10,000 meters. Let's just actually see if we can land this whole thing. Yes, we can land the whole thing. Awesome. Just get it down to the ocean and actually use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and relaunch this and use just this and bring it up to 10,000 kilometers at slow as possible without any thrusters, just using this. Hopefully. Fingers crossed here. This is, by the way, how I'm going to get all the funding to be able to upgrade our research center. Covers the vessel. This should also give us some funds by doing that as well, because we cover the majority of the vessel. The more vessel you are able to retrieve, the more funds you'll get. So we got 315 signs that time, and 17,000 funds, and no XP. All right, so how many more do I need? Oh, I actually have enough. Yay! This is the thing I've been needing. I need... So what else do I need for the aircraft? The Dove or whatever it is. That's the aircraft, by the way, that I'm going to use to get all the other science. Dove. Load. Another Dove. A Gull, I think. Yes, the Gull. Is it these things I'm missing? What else am I missing? Just missing the mobility enhancer, the nose cone, and strakes. Which are these things? And this thing actually kind of needs those things. So let's actually go see if I can research those or not. So, strakes, nose cone, and mobility enhancers. There's that. That's 160 science. Where's the nose cone at? Advanced nose cone, type A. Type B. Assume it's these two I need. Oh, and I also need a mobility enhancer, but I can get rid of the mobility enhancer. It's just 160 science. I can literally just get rid of it. I think it's just that I need to be able to launch this. Yeah, okay. Let's just get rid of this. There, we can now use it. We don't need a mobility enhancer because we're not actually going to get out. I'll go ahead and do another... actually, you don't have any science on this thing. Oops. Vert flight. Spaceman hangar. Now, I do actually have a flight stick. Pick it up and everything falls. So let's add some science to this thing. Just want to add it to the center of mass and lift so that we don't really move the center of lift too much. I'd like to see if we don't move it at all. Yeah, that'll work. So let's just see if my flight stick works. I haven't used it in a very long time, so let's just see if it can be controlled. Okay, right now it's not inputting. So let's just see if we can get this thing to work. No, okay, I'm gonna have to see how to do that. For now, we'll just use simple, good old keyboard for now. Now, I actually I'm actually able to fly planes, so I know how to lift things off properly. 80 kilometers an hour for small aircraft, 120 for big aircraft. I mean, this thing can lift off way before that because it's Kerbal Space Program. That's just awesome. That's how you land. Just throw the brakes on before you hit the ground on most aircraft. There's some aircraft you don't want to do that on. Causes some problems. Now this thing actually carries a lot of fuel, and oh, no, I can't actually. I was gonna say you can get rid of these things, but I wouldn't recommend that. So, any signs here? Yes, there's science. Give me the science. Crew report. EVA report. What the fuck are you at? You must have got like here or something. Okay then, let's go ahead and land this crap back on the aircraft, on the thing. Actually, I wonder if this thing has enough fuel to go to the mountains. Did we go to the mountains already? Pretty sure we did the science episode. Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? So I lifted off there with very little speed. The reason why you want to lift off at as much speed as possible because you want to actually increase very quickly. And this thing only has a small engine on top of the craft. I don't actually know how to create a craft like that. It's pretty hard to do. So let's see how quickly we can get to the a new biome. Sorry. So if you want to see new biomes, you can hit this, which is the debug menu, but it also has cheats in it, like this stuff. Now there is a way to show biomes. I just gotta find out where that is. I don't remember. Resources, Kerbals, contracts, physics, database, textures, new, performance, inputs. I don't know, I can't remember how to do that. There is a way of doing it though. You know something, there's a piece of debris there. Probably go ahead and grab from the thingamajiggy. Thingamajiggy, yeah, the tracking station. So, there's the mountains here, which we also got in the Highlands. There's also an island that you can go to. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn around. By the way, this type of turnaround is not recommended. It is very strenuous on your aircraft. In fact, if this aircraft was real, it would have fell apart. This episode is probably going to be a little bit longer than normal because we're flying, and flying actually takes a lot longer because you're only doing like maybe 100 meters a second. A little more, and of course, if we had a faster aircraft, an aircraft that could do 300 meters a second, this wouldn't take so long. There's actually debris over there too. You do also get science. I do believe it's still a thing for aircraft that survive flights, like this one. You got to bring it back to the main runway, however. Also, the recovery cost scales with the distance from the Kerbal Space Program Center, KSP Center here. So if you land right back where you launched, good luck with that. You'll have almost no recovery cost. There's still a recovery cost, but it's very little. I believe there may have been mods that removed that. I don't particularly want to play with those mods simply because it's a good challenge to attempt to land as close as possible. I do not believe the recovery cost from this airport, there's an airport over here by the way if you didn't know that, counts. So let me just, actually approach properly. Lost a lot of speed doing a very, very weird turn. I'm not using a flight stick right now. By the way, it's called a flight stick, not a joystick. A joystick is the thing that has You know when you go to an arcade and you're playing that game, what's it called? Shadow Fighter or something like that. And those little things that have like one red ball and a stick with some buttons around it. That's a joystick. A gamepad is the thing you play consoles with, like Xbox controllers. You can use those for computers, those type of things. A flight stick is the thing you use to fly aircraft in simulators. Because that's actually what it's called in an aircraft. I'm gonna go ahead and start slowing down. One thing we don't have in this aircraft is air brakes. It sucks, but it's fine. Now, one of the things I could do here is put a parachute right here, probably, depending. Fly it up to 10,000 meters at the speed it requested, and finish that mission. So that's probably what I'll do next. Notice I didn't, like, if you're watching on here, you notice I never ever hit the roll there. I was always using yaw. It's a little trick that you can use to perform very smooth turns. But I think it only works with, like, these style vertical stabilizers. So that's what those things are called, are vertical stabilizers. This is the, oh no, these are horizontal stabilizers, sorry. These are vertical stabilizers. These are used to pitch you up and down. Oh. Hello. You have those? Huh, that's not hotkeyd, I don't think. No, it's not hotkeyd. So these are fins you can use to increase lift at lower speeds. Most aircraft have them nowadays just so they can land at lower speeds. Obviously, this thing's designed around that. It's a really slow aircraft. By the way, landing in KSP 75 meters a second is optimal, to be quite honest with you. Anything higher than that, your aircraft is likely to explode. With the stock things. There is better ones. There's the heavy landers. Those things can tolerate up to 300 meters a second. But that also, you have to also take into account the weight of the aircraft. And yes, I'm using yaw instead of doing anything else because that's what I'm used to. Most aircraft will actually line up pretty good, and then they'll use yaw to do everything else. But they won't be doing such quick maneuvers as what I'm doing. You'll never be able to tell, unless you're, a pilot. Then you'll be able to tell. There we go. Put her on the 90. By the way, most aircraft most aircraft have two nav balls, one for landing and one for takeoff. That's what these things are. Well, I'll have to do an episode one day of flight simulator, flight gear, I should say. Now, I am very high and I'm not glide scoping because this thing is actually a really good flyer. This would be a perfect glide slope right now, but we're actually not reducing very quickly. These are really good aircraft. Now, we should be going down by the 100 meters at this point, and we're not. So let's just dive pretty much straight down to about 1,000 meters. Yeah, that'd be good. And we did gain quite a bit of speed by doing that, so we just need to flap her around a little bit. There we go. 50 meters a second, a little slow. Alright, I don't know if this thing's actually directly on the 90 or not. It doesn't look like it. Maybe it is. But it's not lined up quite right. Sorry if I'm concentrating a little bit too much here. I haven't landed an aircraft in Kerbal Space Program in a long time. So let's just hope this works. Kind of funny if I just go boom. Try to keep it around 70. Once again, optimal landing speed. One of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen people do is not compensate for the yaw they just did. So that they'll yaw over, then not compensate. Whoa, I'm actually not aligned with it. This thing is actually quite tricky to land on. You think you can just land like way back here? You can't. You have to land right there. There's actually a knoll there, or a hill. Sorry, that's Canadian for you. It's actually a really good landing here. And we can't get out because, you know, I don't have mobility enhancers on this thing. Pretty smooth landing. Now, aircraft never stop on the runway. That is something that Kerbal Space Program never teaches you. Why? Because you're the only player. There's no aircraft. I think there might have been a mod being worked on, but I don't think it was capable of really doing anything because of how performance heavy it would be. So, yeah. It would have been nice if it would have been capable of doing so, but, you know. So, the reason why I didn't stop, not just to illustrate a point, but there is actually an Easter egg here. For us veteran KSP players, here's some old parts that were in the game. There's the capsule. There's a fuel tank, and there's an engine. Yeah. So those parts used to be in the game. Not that model there, but yes, that was in the game. This is Canada Shores. It's interesting. There. Did I just back myself into a corner? Maybe. Just maybe. I'll take this aircraft and just turn on the dime because reasons. Yeah, camera's back to where I like it. When you go underneath of stuff like that, it does cause some problems with the camera. None of those problems were intended features, to be honest with you. Oh, the reason why aircraft usually stop on the run, I shouldn't say the aircraft never stop. When they land, they never stop. Before the takeoff, they stop to do the final checklist and rev up the engines to full speed. Aircraft, the reason why you always get a massive jolt whenever you are in a airliner is always because they've revved up the engines to max already. And you're basically just feeling the G-forces of those engines finally being released. But listen carefully, you can actually hear it most of the time. I'm just going to go ahead and go straight a little bit. Actually, I probably need to go this way a little bit. So there's debris right there I'm going to use to unline myself. There is an abort action group. We use that for fun. You can actually make aircraft with a decoupler here that has a parachute in this most cap. That'll decouple this whole thing, turn off the engines and whatnot. Yeah. Cool. Ooh, man. So, next episode, we'll probably go ahead and see about landing on the moon. However, we'll have to do a bit more science episodes before we can do that. I shouldn't say next episode. Soon, we will do that, landing on the moon. Landing on the moon isn't hard. Landing on Mimas is the easiest thing. We might land on Mimas first. If we do, however, I'm going to see about getting an aircraft that has a lot of science to it, so we don't really have to go back. First, however, I will have to launch a few satellites into orbit for communications purposes. I will do that with a cheat menu, simply because I don't know how the probes work anymore. It would take me a while just to learn how to do it, so I'd rather, just for the sake of this playthrough, sorry about my voice there, just put them in orbit with the cheat menu. I'll probably just put them in low Earth, or low Earth, yeah, sure, low Kermit orbit. So yeah, I can't put the gear out right now. I'm way too quick. I could. It wouldn't damage it, but technically it should. Don't remember that light being there. Up the engines again. You can land below 70 meters a second. Hell, I've landed at 0 meters a second before. It's just not as efficient. It takes longer, a lot longer, to get to the runway at lower speeds. So 70 is usually what I land at. It works pretty well. Using caps lock will turn on flying controls. It's not that useful in aircraft. It is useful, but not 100% useful. Never use it like exclusively. It's just, it'll take you a long time to be able to do any form of maneuver. Just use it when you need to, say, trim your approach, or trim your say you got a space plane, which is what this is supposed to be, but it's not. So we're now doing 30 meters per second. That gives you a glide slope. Which means we'll drop. Like if I just leave the thing here, we'll drop. Now we won't, still going over 40. And as you can see, at 30 meters a second, it looks like this thing wasn't moving at all. The train. It really wasn't, to be honest with you. 30 meters a second is really slow. It's like walking speed. Not really, but you know, it's like ridiculously slow. So if you want a glide slope, sorry, if you want a glide slope in the Kerbal Space Program, do 30 meters a second. It is faster for heavier aircraft. For this aircraft, it's 30 meters a second. For, say, an aircraft we'll use later in the series, an aircraft that will probably be able to circumnavigate the globe, maybe 90 meters a second. I honestly don't know that one. Glide slopes are what most aircraft use to land. I don't like using them. I don't know why, I just never found the appeal of glide slope. It's easier, for sure. Maybe it's because I like a challenge. But the one thing I don't like is the fact you gotta know the speed of the glide slope before you get there. And once you get into a glide slope, if you have no more fuel and you miss the runway, like say you're here and you're pretty much landed, it's like, yeah, you can't correct that at all. Whereas, oh, we're on a glide slope now. Okay, I need to correct this. We're not gonna actually hit the runway if I keep that 24 meters per second there. I can't actually pull up any further than that. Anyway, so if you're here and you're already landing like I was just about to, and you have no fuel, you cannot get out of that glide slope. Okay, that's good. We're still technically no, we're just about to hit the glide slope again. Another reason why they use glide scopes is because they allow for much softer landings. Technically, the landings I've been doing are hard landings. They are not rated for any form of passenger flight. Wow, we just locked below 20 meters a second there. Oh, I just lost my tail fin. I pull out of that. So yeah, that's what a glide slope does. Recover. Should have paid attention a bit more there. Would have been a lot better. So we got 200 science out of that. Yeah, 200 science, some funds. That's weird, no reputation. So first thing we need is this. Second thing we need is that. But of course we don't have enough money for that, or enough funds for that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. If you really liked it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.